So 99% of top tier mixing engineers grew their careers doing these three things. And I'm going to share this with you because you've been asking me in videos how to get more clients, how to grow your career as a mixing engineer. The first thing is the best mixing engineers treat their clients as equals. Now, when I was starting out, I wasn't that great at mixing and I didn't know where to push those frustrations. And I feel like a lot of people starting out mixing don't know where to push those frustrations. And ultimately, the first place to do that is our clients. And that's just not that's not on. It's not conducive to helping the project along. And actually, the more successful a project is when it leaves mixing, the more successful you are as a mixing engineer in terms of gaining the respect, gaining the rapport with those clients and the recommendations and referrals. So the best mixing engineers that I know treat clients as equals, as partners in the project. A perfect example of this is Bob Horn. I've done quite a bit of mastering for him, and we've been on projects which have been breezy. Snap your fingers, the mix is done, clients love it. Mastering is done, the clients love it. And we've also been part of projects where things have had a little bit of back and forth for whatever reason. And at every junction, Bob has never, ever, even in private messages or emails, denigrated a client. He's never said a bad word or even inferred a bad thing. And it gets my utmost respect when somebody behaves like that, because it shows that they're willing to be a part of a team and contribute in a constructive manner. And it just showcases their attitude towards their clients. That is the first thing the best engineers I know do, okay? They treat their clients as equals. So if you're looking to grow a career as a mixing engineer, treat your clients as equals. Don't bitch and moan in a forum, online, even in private. I've had people who I enjoy working with and I respect outside of the room of having their clients here. They've bitched and moaned to me about them. That doesn't leave a good taste in my mouth. I call them out on it because I love them and I go, dude, I get it. It can be frustrating, but we need to look at the bigger picture. We're all on the same team here. So that's the first thing. Treat your clients as equals. In part of that, another thing is to appreciate each and every mix note. Even if they don't make sense, even if you don't agree with them, at least appreciate every mix note. The best engineers I know, even if they don't agree with the mixing note, even if they're not going to execute on them, they appreciate them and come to understand them and interpret them and communicate with the client. So there might be a note to bring the bass up 10 decibels. Not that that is a real scenario. I'm just saying there might be a note like that. And a really good engineer won't go ahead and do that, but they also won't say no to doing it. What they'll do is they'll get on the phone to the client. They'll get on an email to the client. They will ask for a bit of clarification and understanding as to why, how the client has come to this decision to advise the mixing engineer to make such a decision. Because through that, you might actually discover something more benign or more problematic that has to be addressed to in the mix, which putting the bass up by 10 decibels might never have fixed. So just a genuine appreciation for mix notes. And as experience has told me, often my clients are actually the best source for mix notes because they know the vision of the project best. So eating humble pie, because I think sometimes I've had to, I'm not going to say in general people eat humble pie, I'm going to say I eat humble pie a hell of a lot because the mix notes clients give me often, okay, this is funny, often make mixes sound better. My mixes sound better at least. They can hear things I can't hear because they've got the vision for the project. So just by simply appreciating every single mix note, not for the sake of, how do I put it? I'm going to blindly do whatever my client tells me, but just for the appreciation to come to an understanding on why and what the direction is of a project, it goes a long way. Because if you can get an edge closer to that final vision, to that final sound that your client's after in mixing, you're all the better for it, both parties and the project included. The third one is work with no compromise to the final product. Now, this is something I took on board from Craig Brower. He commonly shares this sentiment on his Instagram with his followers about the difference between mixing per hour or with limited constraints versus mixing for the creativity of the project and the fulfillment of the art. And I can say he's not the only one to share that sentiment in his ranks. There are a lot of really good mixing engineers who I know go to any length to make sure the record sounds as incredible and as perfect as it possibly can be. And to me, that looks like, if we need to get new stems in for the vocals, if we need to change up a whole section, we are going to do it. Because if that's what the client is, that's what the producer sees the vision of that project needing in order to sound its best, yeah, I'm going to be all on board as the mixing engineer to make sure that can happen and we can work with it, and I'm not going to cause an issue about it, because causing an issue about it doesn't help anybody. It doesn't help the mix. It doesn't help the project. And you just end up being a thorn in people's sides. So working with no compromise to the final product is a really, really important third aspect top tier mixing engineers all do. And finally, to summarize and come full circle on this, humility over ego. Okay? Mixing is our passion. Mixing is what we love to do. But having the humility to take input from external factors in a project, despite it might be in opposition to your beliefs or to your tastes on what you're doing and the art you're working with, the humility to just take that input goes a long way to not only the net benefit in a successful mixing project, but also learning opportunities for yourself, the impressions you make on others, and ultimately the sort of legacy that you put together for yourself as a mixing engineer and the impressions you make on the wider community. So there you have it. That's what 99% of top tier mixing engineers, at least I know, do or have done to grow their career in the industry. Hope you enjoyed this, and until next time, take care.